There you go. 12 minutes to 7. While you cogitate that, let's talk about something perhaps more important. Stem cell transplants. They can save lives, but when it comes to signing up to donate them, men are much less willing than women. Peter McCleve is desperately in need of a transplant. He is on the line, and with me in the studio is Anna Frodsham of the blood cancer charity DKMS. Peter, you are getting stem cell transplants at the moment, your own stem cells, is that right?
Yeah, that's right. So, in the absence of a donor match, they've been able to take my own stem cells, clean them up, and I'm currently in the Christie mid undergoing the transplant. So I'm week 1 through that at the moment.
Because you have myeloma.
Yeah, that's right. I was diagnosed in March last year, and so at the moment there's no cure for myeloma, which in itself is worrying and a bit of a problem. But at the same time, these sort of transplants give us hope of long remission and long term ways of dealing with this particular illness.
Right, but there's a limit to how long you can go on having your own stem cells, is there?
Yeah, I've been told by the doctors that in the absence of a donor coming forward, I've probably got 7 years to live, which say this is a message I'm sure many people have been given over the years. But what this does is buy us time. So you can only have up to 2 of your own autologous stem cell transplants, which is why for people like myself, it becomes more and more important that a donor transplant or a donor stem cell can be found. And it just happens to be that my genetic background is quite diverse, so a bit more difficult to find.
Oh, I see. So it's a question of matching somebody else's stem cells to yours.
Yeah, exactly. So in the UK at the moment, I'm led to believe about 2% of the population have signed up to the register, which in itself gives me hope that for people like myself, we can go out there and we can be engaged with programs like this and just try and raise awareness. So it gives us great, the odds are there for us to get more people signed up. So there is a match out there. When I was told that a match had been found when I first got diagnosed, but they declined to follow that up on the register. So that was disappointing. But again, it gives me hope that with 98% of people in the UK out there, when people become aware that they literally have within their grasp something so simple that they can donate. It's a simple cheek swab to find if you're a match. Then it gives me great optimism that we can find somebody who can give that effectively a brand new immune system and longevity of life.
Well, I was going to say it's quite the incentive, isn't it, to know that perhaps somebody listening to this program as we speak, that if they donate the stem cells, your life might be saved. And you have 2 young children, of course.
Absolutely, and that's the key. I mean, the diagnosis of cancer was shocking enough, but it's what it puts in perspective, and I'm sure, again, it's a common story for anyone who's been diagnosed with something like this, but it's what you start to question, the amount of time, the things you may and may not see, your kids growing up, your time with your partner. But, one thing I've learned through all of this is, optimism gets you a long way, and, there are more good people out there than not, and I think the moment people realise that a simple cheek swab, you can save a life, it's quite a great leveler when you think about it. You don't have to go to university 5 years to save a life with this. There are people up and down the country now. They're probably sitting having breakfast. They could be on the train commuting to work, or they could be of any sort of social background, demographic, gender. It sort of transcends all of the all of the different sort of breakdowns of our country and the global population, and yet it doesn't matter what your background is. You have within you right now something that can save a life. So it's simple, but it's the technology is amazing.
Well, we obviously all wish you very, very well, and thank you for talking to us. And let's talk about it now to Anna Frodsham, as I say, from DKMS. A little bit more detail about how it actually works, Anna. I mean, if I wanted to donate stem cells, what would I do?
So basically, if you are between the ages of 17 and 55 and generally in good health, you can go to dkms.org.uk. You can register online, and we will then send you a DIY swab kit, which you can then do at home at your own leisure. Yep.
Gosh.
And
just swab it from your mouth.
That's right. It's 3 cheek swabs, so you do one sort of each side of the mouth, and then one more, and it takes a few minutes. You then pop them back into a prepaid envelope, send them back off, and then you will be placed on the registry. And then when somebody needs a transplant, the transplant physicians will be searching the registry and you'll be there.
Ah, and then what happens? If cells match the cells they need, what then happens to you?
So you'll then receive a call and you will go through some medical examinations, obviously. It's a very thorough health check.
How intrusive are those examinations?
It's not intrusive. It's actually, I think what most people say is that it's a real great MOT for you.
That's the kind of health check we'd have if you go to our GP.
Absolutely,
right.
yeah. And then you essentially will donate via one of two methods. In 90% of the cases, you will donate your blood stem cells via your bloodstream. So it's quite similar to blood donation. It's not the same. And the blood is drawn from one arm. It's then passed through a machine and the stem cells are extracted.
So it's painless?
It is, honestly. Most of our donors tell us it's painless. It takes about 4 hours. Normally you're sort of sat there reading a book or watching something on your iPad. And yeah, it's normally a very straightforward process.
You can literally,
and that's 90% of cases.
And you can literally save a life by doing that.
I know, exactly.
Well, we'll put that just give us the website address again.
It's dkms.org.uk.
Right, and we'll put it on our website as
That's
well.
right.
Anna Frodsham, thank you very much indeed. And if you're still listening, Peter, thank you very much too.
Thank you.
6 minute